Well, hello once again, farming friends. Welcome back to another edition of Farm Simulator 2015 with me, Mr. Moose, on what looks like a very cloudy day here on our farm, my big country. Yeah, after playing the other day, I kind of had a little renewed vigor in this map, so I figured we'll just switch back and forth between it. I got a little burned out on it. That's the reason we went to North Vermont, but I had some fun the other day, so we'll switch between the two of them and see what happens. So when we last left, we had a little harvesting going on, and that's kind of where we're at now. We finished up the canola, finished up the corn, and we got one of our field of beets done. So we have to continue on with those projects. So let's jump on over to our beet harvester. Let's get it fired up. And we have to move over to the next field. So let's clean up this little remnant here, and then we can run to field number 15 and we'll clean it out. And so on today's program, we're going to do a little harvesting. We'll set up our sweet beets, sugar beet harvester. We'll set up our big, huge New Holland cultivator, our harvester, to do some wheat. And we're going to take some piggies to the market today because, yeah, we've got several of them fat and ready to go. And I figured, well, we go ahead and do that. Plus, I saw somebody commenting on Landy Kids' video about how to do beef and pigs, and I thought, well, maybe I'll just, in today's video, since I've got some ready to be harvested and done, I thought, well, I'll just incorporate that into our video today. So let's go ahead and turn on auto combine. Just not gonna, and get started here. I gotta manually do this first row because these trees set a little close to the field, and if I try to come east on the map with this very first row, the pipe or the offloading chute will hit that tree and hang up and mess us up a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead and just manually drive through here, get this first little path done, and then we'll turn auto combine on, and we'll let auto combine do the first 4 or 5 passes around the field, and then I'll shoot it into courseplay. And you may think, well, why do you do that? It's one of those things that I've just kind of, I don't necessarily love auto combine, but it does do a pretty good job of what it does. I could use courseplay for all of it, but essentially what I want to do is I want to pre-cut the headlands of this like 5 rows deep. Then I want to come back and reset courseplay. And see, there's one of the reasons I don't like auto combine. It was set up perfectly and yet had to kick itself way out to the left there to get started, and that just irritates me to all in. But anyways, what I want to do is I want to cut like 5 headlands deep initially, and then when I come back in and set courseplay up to run, I want to pull that back to like 3 headlands to give me a buffer zone between what's not been harvested and what has been harvested, because the way courseplay does it, if you set it up, when it gets back to what it perceives is the start of the row, it picks up the head and it goes ahead and makes its turn, sets back into the field, drops the head, and starts processing. Well, if you don't give yourself a little bit of a buffer, it will miss a whole lot of plants. So by pre-cutting my head and then setting my course up, whereas I've got 5 rows cut, but I set it up in courseplay as only 3 rows cut, I give myself that buffer zone for courseplay not to leave anything in the field. I need to show you that, and maybe I can get it in this video. I mean, if we don't get it in this video, we'll get it in the next one. Alright, so let's get the tractor over here so we can go ahead and set him up to harvest. And pick up the beets out of the harvester. So yeah, we're only going to have to run 2 combines right now. We'll have this one running. See how it left that big kick out? If I let auto combine do the whole course, these little places like that stick out will turn into huge indentations eventually down the road, because it's just so, it follows the sniffers on it, follow the edge of the plants, and it always leaves a little bit here, and then a little bit more, and then a little bit more, and then before you know it, it's making huge weird turns, and it's not nearly as efficient as it needs to be. Alright, let's ease up underneath this guy, get ourselves some beets. Fill this thing up. It's going to top out real quick right there, and we can spool off, and we'll go ahead and set course play up. I do have a course for beets already in here. See if I can get around that tree. Yeah, alright. So we're going to load that in. 4-wheel drive is active. We're going to be harvesting off of the Grim Maxtron 620. Auto sides. Course is loaded. Drive course, drive now. And that will go dump. Okay. And while that's done that, we will move over to our wheat field. We need to send this guy to the silo because he's still got a little bit of barley in it from our last harvest. So I will pull him right here. Tell him to drive course. Drive now. Oh, come on, moron. How silly. There. Alright, and let's drive us right down here. We'll jump out. Grab the combine and start it up. Nice. And we'll set up a course for it in course play. We're in field number 3. And we're starting in the southeast corner. That should be good. Back up just a little bit. Come on, there we go. Alright, and we'll get this guy, our overloader. How come it didn't put me in the overloader? Oh, duh. There we go. And I'm going to move this guy. That combine had quite a bit of weed in it, so I'm going to move this guy out of the way and then set up behind him to unload him. Still a few little stumps here where I trimmed all these trees back. I just want to get that passed, and then we'll set this up. Alright, so 4-wheel drive active. Working on the New Holland. And everything else should be good. Drive course. Just wondering why I did that. Alright, so he should automatically hit the stop sign and get the call to go unload our combine. So, there we go. Good to go. And so that's all we got to do as far as getting those guys done. I do have a guy up here in 17. I went ahead and cultivated field number 1. I did that manually. That was kind of fun. 17 or 18 is cultivated, and we're in 17 now, working to cultivate with our 1050. I finally found something wrong with this tractor. There's not much wrong with it. It's a pretty good little tractor. But there is a loose wire in it, apparently. Which, I mean, there's nothing really wrong with it, but yeah, there's a little bit of a glitch in this thing. Let's see, northwest corner is where we're going to start. Going east, 1 headland, generate course. So what it is, and I'll hit drive course and let this thing take off. And get rid of course play. So if you get back here behind it and you watch, and it's not going to do it right now, is it? It's not going to do it. Huh. Alright, see how the console is kind of flickering? Maybe I got to turn the lights on for it to do it. Let's see if that did. Alright, there it is. See how the console is just kind of flickering when the lights are on? It's like there's a short in the wiring. And if you jump out of the cab, you can see the on-screen is doing the same thing when you're out of it. But when you're inside, the screen's stable. But the dashboard's freaking out. Only little thing I found with this tractor so far. And it's still pretty solid. Alright, so what else are we going to do today? We're going to do some piggy work. Let's get out of the forestry stuff. And find that guy right there. So, I was, like I said, I was going through, watching some videos, and reading some comments on some folks' stuff. And on Landy Kids' current post, somebody asked him about beef and pigs, and they didn't really understand how to do it. And so I thought today we'd just do a real quick overview on ours, because we do have some pigs that are ready to go to market. So when you're doing pigs, if you've never done them before, and it took me a little bit of trial and error to figure this out, they're pretty basic. You buy your pigs, you get them in, and much like dairy, you do have to give them water, some TMR, grass, silage, and straw. But additionally, you have to give them potatoes and some grain. So the potatoes go in this chute right here, and initially this thing was empty, and I thought it was where the poo went. You know, I figured this was the manure trap. But no, you actually have to put potatoes in here. So you put potatoes in to feed the guys. You could also use beets. I did at one point. And then here you have to put grain in. And you can pretty much, I guess, use any kind of grain. I started out with wheat in mine and then have moved to corn. Because I think that's a little more realistic of pigs eating corn. And then this is your water. And you just fill it up. You can see the little red mark there that shows you how full it is. And then on the inside, you got to come in. This is your slurry trap, where you get your slurry, your liquid manure. And then inside of here, this is where you put your grass, TMR, silage that go in the troughs. And then you just, if you pull through here, you'll get a key of when to put your straw out as well. It's right here. It pretty much triggers right here in front of these straw bales. And that's pretty much it. Now, this little pig here is your pig in waiting to go to market. And that's where you pick up your pigs, and that's what we're going to do now. So, you know, it's pretty much fill them up with food, and then you watch your slaughter weight. And each slaughter weight, from what I have learned, is that is a pig that is available to go to market. So once you have one slaughter weight, you have one pig. So we're up to 32 slaughter weight. So we are going to haul them to the market. So let's back up to our livestock trailer, which you do have to put a livestock trailer in if you're doing beef pigs or fattened chickens. You've got to have a way to haul them to the market. So you have to get a modded trailer that will hold livestock. And we're just going to pull around here. And we will load them up. And the trigger point for this is actually inside those doors. So you do have to back all the way in, or at least a little bit in. But the thing about it is, this particular trailer has doors and a chute gate, but you've got to back into the gate, and then once you hit the trigger point, your pigs will automatically load in. So you see, I got piggies getting in. Yeah. So this pig magically multiplies, and more little piggies funnel out and go into your trailer. How about that? And that's it. They'll load up. Once we get them all in there, we will go to the market. See if I can squeeze through here. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, I can run across the top of the trailer. Alright, let's jump in. So we got 2 more to load. That's it. 32. 32 squealers. That's some pork chops, some ham hocks, bacon, Boston butt, hog jowls, pickled pig's feet for you. Whatever floats your boat. I see bacon. I see bacon everywhere. Now we just need to get our greenhouse up, grow some jalapenos, take our dairy, make some cream cheese, and we can make stuffed bacon wrapped jalapenos. That does sound good, doesn't it? Alright, so we're going to head down here to the slaughterhouse. And the slaughterhouse on this map is, it's right where our shop is. I don't know if we've shown you this. The shop is directly down south of the farm. And right there where it says slaughter, that is the slaughterhouse. And that is where we are headed. And for some reason I always think you can hit the escape key to get out of that big map. Alright, so we've got our trailer full of bacon, and we're going to come to the market here. Pull in, and we will spin around and back our trailer in. We are on the unload zone. Let's open up the back doors and let our pigs free. And we'll come back here and check it out. That little piggy went to market. That little piggy went to market. That little piggy went to market. None of the piggies stayed home. None of the piggies got roast beef. All the piggies went to market. And they went wee wee, and they don't go wee wee wee. It's the quietest slaughterhouse I've ever been to in my life. If you've ever been to a slaughterhouse, you know what I'm talking about. There's constant mooing and constant wee wee. Oh yeah. Alright, well that's it. The piggies have been taken to the market. They've been sold. We made a little cash. And now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Moose, you just sold off 32 pigs. You need to go get some new ones, right? You would think that, wouldn't you? Well, let's go to our PDA and check it out. No, we still have 40 pigs. So apparently, once you buy a pig, they're like everlasting gobstoppers. You buy one and they just massively reproduce. They never reproduce more than one, but they reproduce. So apparently, once a pig gets to slaughter weight, he squirts out a piglet. You take him, turn him into bacon, and piglet grows up to take dad's place or mom's place, however you want to say that. So if you're thinking you have to continuously buy your livestock once you slaughter it, you would be wrong. So apparently this mod has husbandry built into it. But now I'm thinking not all maps are created the same, because I have viewed a modded version of Bjornholm, and I think it was called Peeblehome or something like that. And on it, I saw a gentleman doing beef, lamb, pig. And not only did he have the fattening where you produced your pig, your beef, your lamb, but also had a husbandry section where you had to take like milk and certain other items to it in order for the little ones to fatten up to become big enough to put into the fattening shed. So it's like a nursery. So not sure. I don't think all beef, cattle, lamb is created the same. I'm very curious to see if that exists, because I think that would be cool to have to do the husbandry as well. Start a little nursery, raise them up until they're big enough to move from the nursery to the fattening area. What am I doing? I specifically know I can pull through there. My brain's in another area right now. I'm gonna have to back up now. Alright, so we pull this through here. We'll drop it off. Not that it really matters that it's under shelter. Alright, and that is that for the piggies. They are good to go. And we will let them continue to grow and reproduce. And the next time we have a considerable amount of slaughtered weight ready piglets, we will take them to the slaughterhouse again. Pretty much that easy. Okay, my New Holland is sitting full of wheat. Okay, it's dumping now. I was sitting there thinking, what's going on? Why isn't it dumping? Alright, let's just set that there. And I'm not really worried about reseeding right now. We'll do that later. I like to do my seeding in the morning. We'll do harvesting the rest of the afternoon, cultivate the fields, get them ready to go, and then we'll handle the rest of it. Let's just kind of run through, make sure no one needs attention. These guys are unloading just fine. Looks like he's on his third pass. And he's going to end up stopping because this guy's got to make his run back. Alright. This guy is doing... I see a wreck about to happen. Oh! He ran and got out of the way. Cool. Alright, so those look good. Alright, so the rest of the video, I think what we're going to do is work on preparing for the second part of our apple mod. I don't know if you watched the video that we did a couple of days ago, but we did do finally a presentation on the apple mod, which is the fruit trees. And so we've got those in play, and as you know, back here in this back corner I do have the apples and pears planted, but I need to go ahead and put in the extension, which is berries, which will allow me to do strawberries, plums, oranges, and the last one, cherries, is the last one that it'll allow me to do. And then also make way for a warehouse and a place to put a warehouse to store our fruit, and anything else that we want to do. Maybe some greenhouses. I wouldn't mind replacing the in-game greenhouses with the apple mod greenhouses, just because they're a little bit cooler. Whereas these guys, you do manure and water. The apple mod greenhouses, you do manure, water, and fertilizer, and you have to harvest your fruit to take to the sell point, which, you know, it's a little more work to do, but it's a little more realistic. So as you can see, I moved a lot of the forestry stuff over here so we could start cutting down some trees and getting our forestry underway. So we'll use basically we're going to use the scorpion to fall everything. I'll use the log skidder to go and clean up my piles, then use the loader to pick everything up and put it on the truck. And that's about it. Nothing real fancy. I don't use the buffalo. I just have no need for that. So get my head set right. There we go. It depends on what mood I'm in too as to how I process my trees. If I'm in like the mood to try and, at one point I wanted to be really meticulous with it and do like cut my trees into 5-meter sticks and then only take out certain portions of it and then take the tops and throw them for wood chipping. But then the forestry in this is just a little disappointing to me because there's no consistency in it. And so, especially when you're trying to load something onto the wood chippers, you'll be pushing it on there. And I may have covered this when I was doing the Brooksoon, but especially when you're wood chipping, you'll run into a situation where you'll have the log on the chipper, but then it'll just decide at the last second it wants to twist and come off of it. And that really annoys me. It's like this. You'll be pulling these across and you'll be stacking nice and parallel, and then all of a sudden it'll just twist. Or like how that log just nicely stacked right on top there. I don't know. I could do it like that, and then I could bring this top back here and just drop it down, and then I could bring the skidder in and grab the top and take it away. I've done it both ways, and it just, I don't know. It's what I'm in the mood for at the time, you know? It's hard to do a, like, legitimate logging operation when you're by yourself. If you were playing multiplayer and you have one person cutting trees and one person dragging trees out and one person processing trees, it would be a little bit different as to how you did things. Ultimately, I would love to see them set this up where instead of processing all your trees right here next to the scorpion, I would love to see more of a feller buncher situation where you cut your tree, you drop it on the ground, a skidder comes in, skids the tree out to a landing zone, and then on the landing you have a processor who handles the delimbing process and then trims your trees down to the size that he wants them to be, and then stacks them for loading. I really like the big delimbers where you pick it up and the delimber goes all the way out to the top of the tree. I hate how this thing twisted that tree all the way around. I really like the big delimbers that take they start at the trunk and they shoot the limb, and this thing is just not going where I want it. They start at the trunk and they have an arm that goes all the way out the D-limbs, and then when it gets so many feet out from the butt, it cuts the top off of the tree, and so you just hold the tree over where your top pile is, and you do it that way. I really like that a lot more than this scorpion. That's the kind of processor I would love to see in the game, because you have your landing, you set your processor up to cut everything a particular length, you know, so 10 meters for a trailer or whatever, and then it goes out, it cuts the 10 meters, you know, it starts at the nice clean butt that you have that you want, it cuts your 10 meters, goes out 10 meters, cuts it, and then the rest of it falls into the pile that you're going to use for chipping. That would be cool. A lot of times the way I'll do my wood processing is I'll just set my head up to a certain position that I like. This is just a cluster, and I don't like doing it this way. This is a little disorganized this way. What I like to do, and what I'm going to do from here on out, is I'm just going to process down the side of the and not worry about the heads or the tops, because I'm just driving all over my stuff now. So we'll do this the way I normally do it. Raise that up, lower this down, turn the power on. Alright, so we'll just drive straight up onto the tree right here. How you like the way that tree's just wiggling right there? Pull back a little bit so that falls down. Maybe come out a little bit more. Alright. I got all messed up. Alrighty. And then just come hit this tree real quick. Puma is slipping. Which one would that be? Let's go check. That would be this one. Why it tried to make a left-hand turn into a tree, I'll never know. Alright, so we'll get this unloaded. And it's going to have to immediately go dump. And so we're just about there on getting our headlands cut. It probably needs one more pass. And then we'll be ready to go. But this is probably going to end up in our next video because we're running up on 30 minutes here for this one. We'll do a little bit more and then we'll wrap this one up. We'll come back and I'll stop this and we'll reset for sugar beets in the next one. Look at this idiot. Boom, I got to turn right into them. Courseplay just does some stupid stuff. 90% of the time it'll take a left-hand turn and go into the trees, but since there were no trees to run into on the left, it made the right-hand turn and nailed the processor. It never fails to amaze me, the logic that goes into it, how it decides. I almost think it's just completely random. You would think it's programmed to do the same maneuver over and over. Here's what I hate about auto combine. See how it's, instead of making a nice smooth turn right here following the contour of the field, for some reason it made this huge jutting out, and it will continue to do that, and eventually this will just become one big huge peninsula in the field jutting out. Why it does that I'll never understand. Anyways, and then it'll have problems right here with this big old rock. Alright, so we got our fence finished up here. So we can stock the driver, knock him out, and then we will go put him over in field number. Oh, I see a big area he missed. Wow. That must be like a weird spot that he missed. I've never had issues right there, so we'll go ahead and cultivate that up. It's like an indention right there. Sure is, like a ditch. Alright, get that drained. And then I see one more little spot over here on the edge that got missed. That was probably where we reset everything. Clean this a little bit up, and then we'll move him over to field number 2 and get him started there. So that'll give us 1, 17, 18 that are now cultivated. So we could start replanting, which we'll do first thing in the morning, we'll at sunrise. Let's go ahead and fold this up. I really do like this big cultivator. It does a really nice job. Take it over here to field number 2, and yes, I'm a creature of habit. I know I could start right here, but for some reason I always like coming down to the northwest corner and starting from the same corner every time. Which, if I was doing a seed parade, I would be justified in doing that, where I start the combine and then start the seeder right afterwards. Alright, get this guy folded out. Build path 2. Northwest, east, everything's set up already. Just generate horse. Isn't that nice? Alright, and we'll run through this corner. Alright, so we got this guy, sorry about that little interruption. We got this guy going, and he is doing his cultivating. And yeah, looks like we're good, except for our New Holland is sitting in the field full of wheat for some reason. So I need to go check on that. Seems like our overloader is playing Ring Around the Rosie with the waterhead in the field. Not sure why it's doing that. Let's see if we can stop and get him to pick back up. Come on. Come on, go get through. There you go. Good boy. Alright, well, that's just about going to do it for this video. We're over our 30 minutes. We're actually, yeah, we're coming up on about 40. So, a little bit of everything for you. We'll just kind of leave it off here. And I'll probably stop everything that we've got going on. And then we'll just pick up with our next video and continue on. That way we can set up the sugar beets with horseplay to finish it up, and work a little bit more on our harvesting, and we'll work on getting those do some more forestry work over there. We'll straighten up our piles of lumber and get everything loaded onto a trailer and sold off. So yeah, that's where we'll pick up on our next edition. Appreciate you watching. If you like the video, please make sure you give me a thumbs up and maybe comment just to say hello. Let me know you're watching. And of course, if you want to get regular updates on when new videos come out, I try to put one out every day, so subscribe to the channel and you'll get a notification to let you know when those are posted and ready to go. Until our next video, I do appreciate you watching so very much. Thank you for coming by. Stay safe. Have a great day, and I will see you in our next edition of Farming Simulator 2015 with me, Mistermoose. Bye-bye. Hey, thanks again for watching this video, and if you made it all the way to the end, well, maybe you liked it. So give me a big old thumbs up. That like goes a long way. Also, subscribe to this channel. I will update the videos every single day, so there'll always be something new for you to see. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll come back again tomorrow. Thanks for your support.